Get ready for a new plane spotting location in Dallas. The Dallas Love Field Observation Area might be the best new plane spotting area in North Texas. In this video, we'll cover everything there is to know about this brand new observation area, from where it's located, the planes and airlines you can expect here, the amenities, and how it compares to DFW Founders Plaza. Let's take a look. Getting here is fairly easy. The new observation area is located right at the end of the George Coker Circle, which is just off of Lemon Avenue. This observation area is open daily. There is plenty of parking and it's completely free and open to the public. There's no word yet on what the official hours are, but if it's anything like DFW Founders Plaza, the hours are probably from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Keep an eye on Dallas Love Field social media to see if there are any changes to these hours. One of the things you'll notice as you walk up there is the giant covered pavilion. Awesome for the shade, especially during the hot Texas summers. There's plenty of seating area all around. What's great about this pavilion is that it's not located at the beginning of the runway or the end of the runway. It's actually kind of in the middle of the runway, and that's where all the action is. I love that the level of this pavilion is slightly up higher than the runway, so you have a great overlook. What is also really neat about this location is that you are right in the action. The taxiway is only a short distance away from you, so you don't need to use a lot of zoom. What is also very cool about this location is that you have the perfect view of the Dallas skyline with the runway, which makes for beautiful photos of an aircraft with the Dallas skyline in the background. You're also right in the action because it's located right in between two active private aviation businesses. These businesses are Aerostar Aviation and Signature Aviation. And because of these private aviation businesses, you'll have a lot of private aviation traffic pass right in front of the observation area, which is very neat. You get a very good up-close look at these aircraft. And whenever there's not much going on the runway, you can look to either side and see what private jets are parked over there. There really is a lot to love about this location. But what I love the most is that it's a very intimate feel. You have a view of the runway from start to end. Private jets pass right in front of you, and you don't need a zoom to see the pilots wave from the cockpit. And the variety of private aviation mixed with commercial jets just gives it a vibe that is hard to find at the big international hubs. This new observation area is definitely a huge win for the Dallas aviation community. If you are in North Texas, definitely check it out. What are the airlines and aircraft you can expect while plane spotting at Dallas Love Field? Dallas Love Field is the main hub and headquarters of Southwest Airlines, so the majority of traffic that you'll see there is Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines, of course, is all about the 737s. What is exciting about Southwest Airlines is that they have quite a few special liveries, so this would be the spot to see the newest liveries. When I was there recently, I actually spotted the California One livery, which was awesome. You might also see a Delta plane every now and then. Delta Airlines actually has one gate at Dallas Love Field Airport. They fly their Airbus A319 to Dallas Love Field. The airline JSX also has a major base here at Dallas Love Field. This airline currently uses the Embraer 135 and 145. And of course, the rest of the traffic is private aviation. Like I mentioned before, you have Signature Aviation here, Aerostar Aviation, and Atlantic Aviation. And of course, with private aviation, think about the Gulfstream, the Cessna Citation. All of this air traffic together makes for a great variety of planes. So how does this new spot at Dallas Love Field compare to the OG DFW Founders Plaza? Of course, it's hard to make a comparison. At Dallas Love Field, the biggest aircraft you'll see is the 737 and the A319. And at DFW, that's where you find all the heavies, the A380, the 747, the 777, the A350, and so on. Proximity to the runway. At Dallas Love Field, you don't need as much zoom. You feel like you're right in the action. You have a view of the runway from start to end. At DFW, compared to Dallas Love Field, you're actually pretty far from the runway. You need a really good zoom for great photographs, great videos. You don't have a good view of the runway from start to end. Airline variety. At Dallas Love, you don't have as much variety of airlines. At DFW, there's over 25 different airlines that you can spot. At Dallas Love, it's mostly Southwest Airlines, Southwest, Delta, JSX, and private aviation. At DFW, there are over 25 passenger airlines that fly there. Amenities. Most spotting areas do not offer a bathroom, so they are equal in that. However, as far as shade in the hot Texas summer, Dallas Love Field actually has a lot more shade with a great view still compared to DFW. And the same is to say about shelter from rain. Engine sound. At Dallas Love Field, it's very easy to hear the engines, and it's easy to capture on video. DFW Founders Plaza, you can still hear the engines, but it's definitely not as clear and obvious as it is at Dallas Love. So both spotting areas are great. Really, it comes down to what you're most interested in, and of course, what the weather is that day you're plane spotting. I hope you enjoyed this full tour of this Dallas Love Field aircraft observation area. I think it's a fantastic spot that many people will enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe to help the weekly departure take off. A video about DFW Founders Plaza is coming soon. See you at the next departure.